Let's add in some style and let's add in some HTML form element properties as well. So the first thing we're going to do is based on section 4 in the notes, where we're adding in some style here for the label tags. And what we're doing with the label tags is we are setting the width to be 400 pixels. And okay, on its own, that's not going to be enough to force the form elements, which you can see here in a nice line underneath each other. It's not going to be enough. Width 400 is not going to be enough just to push them all over there, because they've got different amounts of characters in each label. So we need to add in display equals inline block or display colon inline block as well. Okay, so that's what you'll be adding in there. Okay, and what we're also going to do, okay, well let's run that first and see what that looks like. Okay, so that's it there. So you can see all these characters here, all these form elements that have a label before them. Okay, they're all starting after 400 pixels. Okay, the checkboxes, radio buttons, this list box here, progress meters and so on, they don't have a label before them, so we don't get that happening. What I've also done here, just go back and look at the code, is I've added in the for property. Okay, so you can see name, telephone, promotion, email and date. They've all got for, and the value for these labels that have for in it is the same as the name of the succeeding form element. Okay, and what does that mean? The effect of that then is if I click on the label, the cursor goes into the appropriate text box or makes the appropriate form element active, like so. And you can see DD is highlighted there when I click on the word date over here. DD is highlighted. If I then use the up arrow, I can do that. Right arrow will make month active. And you can see I can't pick 13 there. Okay, and then year and so on, starting with the current date. Okay, so that is section 4 there. Let's move on to section 5. Okay, sorry, I've done section 5 as well. How would you make the same thing happen to the name, telephone, promotion? Okay, by adding the for property into the label and setting the value of the for property to be the name of the succeeding form element. Okay. When the web page loads, we often want to force the cursor into a text box so that when the page loads, you can start typing, say, your username, if it's for email login or whatever. Okay, how do we do that? You just add in the word autofocus into the appropriate, it's usually practically always going to be the first text box. Okay, so you load up the page and there you see the cursor blinking in there. Okay, how many cursors are there on any web page? 1. So there's no need to add autofocus into another text box. There's no point in doing that. Okay, so let's look at that. That was number 6. Here we go here, down here, autofocus there. In fact, I've got, okay, this is section 8. Sorry, let me come back to the code. What's section 7 about? Forcing content into form elements. Now, you may remember that one of the things we did earlier was we set up this class in Bolden. Okay, and this was a little a red asterisk. Okay, font weight bold, and these are mandatory fields. So name, email and date, age, favorite color, these should not be left empty. Okay, if they are left empty and you click submit, we should be getting a HTML5 generated error message. So how do we do that? Well, essentially all we do is we add the word required in. Okay, and required means basically the browser checks if there's nothing in those text boxes. If nothing has been picked, we get an error message flagged and we can't go on any farther. Okay, so all we need to do is just make sure that word is in So you can see class equals embolden in the label where the red star is, and then the word required is in the succeeding form element on the same page. Okay, like so. So autofocus required, very straightforward. And then some more text box properties. Okay, section 8. These are property value pair information. Okay, so 3 new properties, and you have to put a value in with them. Okay, so size, how many pixels it takes up on the screen. Okay, max length, how many characters you can type in. Placeholder is just like kind of a watermark text that gives you a bit of help as to what sort of information to type in. So let me just run that. This is it here. He says, hopefully, here we go. Okay. So what else have I added in here? I might jumping ahead of myself. Yeah, I've actually got section 9 in here. Let me talk about section 9 first, and then we can look at the web page as it's working. Okay, I'm adding in some background color for text boxes. Okay, and not just text boxes actually, as it turns out. These will also work for radio buttons, submit button, reset buttons. Okay, because they're all input. Okay, now in this area, okay, let's look at the code for number 9, which I don't have opened. Let's make that a bit bigger here. Okay, we've already had hover as a pseudo class. Now we've got input required. Okay, so those text boxes where you have to type something in, the background color is going to be red. When you hover over the text box, the background is going to go kind of a green yellow color, chartreuse. When you focus, okay, remember autofocus, the cursor is in one of the text boxes. That is the pseudo class of focus. Okay, so the background is going to go light blue. So when we load up the web page, one of our form elements, one of our text boxes has autofocus. So that text box is going to be light blue. And what else am I doing? I'm just setting some styles for the field set. Border, purple, kind of 2D inset effect. And the legend, then just putting some code here. Monospace, all characters have the same width. So this text here is actually monospace. So let's have a look at our web page after all the code up to sections 9 are applied. Here it is here. Okay, so notice here you can see this is autofocus, so light blue background, and okay, I'm not quite sure what the max length is on that. Let's just test it out. Let me come back and look at the code, because some of these have max length, haven't they? Telephone, max length 10. Okay, where's telephone? Here we go. Okay, you can see when I click on it, light blue background. Okay, we can see the placeholder. It's not something I can select. Okay, so I should be able to type 10 characters in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. Can I put an 11th one in? I can't. Okay, so max length is working in there. Note the size of this is bigger than the size of the others. Okay, promotion code. Once I click in, the autofocus light blue color pseudocode is applied to focus. Here's hover here. We get that sort of yellowy green chartreuse color here. If I just refresh the page, we can see email, it's got a red star, date is red star. These are required, and you can see the red background color here, and similarly over here. Okay, notice when I put the mouse over this empty space here, the background color is changing. Okay, and that's because this space here is actually part of the labels. Okay, whereas if I come over to the space to the right here, you can see I'm not changing any background colors. Okay, so we've got light blue for the focus. We've got red background for required. We've got just default yellow. That must be the style I have. Let's just come up and have a look here. Yeah, okay, so input, no pseudo classes, background yellow. So satisfy yourself. You can see yellow, red, chartreuse, light green, or light blue in there. Okay, is there anything else I need to say about all those sections? Just to note again, colon, no space either side of colon. And that is essentially it. Okay, we'll resume section 10 in the next video.